Hello, I am the cartoonist M. Rashid. This cartoon was inspired by the ADOS Advocacy Foundation and uh, their insistence that the reparations um, debt that the ever complicit U.S. government owes to the Black American former slave class, the American descendants of slavery, is for that group alone, that it's specific for them. That does not mean that other Black groups among the diaspora didn't go through their own freedom struggles under whatever white supremacist, colonialist, imperialist regimes they might be have dealt with in their space. But they have to address those entities for their reparations. In the United States of America, the Black American ethnic group dealt with a very specific issue based on our unique lineage and heritage that does not include the immigrants. We are not immigrants. We didn't come here on purpose. We didn't come here looking for a better life the way them and their immediate ancestors did, how they got here. They're the children of immigrants or they're direct immigrants. Their story is different from ours. So this cartoon is pretty much showing like the nature of our relationship with our country and our ideological and political foes compared to what they know. So they often try to conflate into a flat blackness their experience in America with ours when they're nothing the same. And that's why they the being critical against them is pointing out that your position partners with white supremacy and you're following a position that hurts me and elevates you with him. You cannot conflate your story and then when we look at your relationship with other African groups, you're clear in your specificity. You're clear in all the areas that we're clear about that you are being disingenuous in your argument. We can see you. We see that's where the ADOS activists invented the hashtag called panties down, showing that the Pan-African concept of all Africans working together, people from different African the diaspora all working together, falls apart when we see how you all actually act around each other. There is no unity. It's an act. And it appears to be an act created just to trick me. I'm the only one who has no memory of my past. You all show up with imperialist colonizer flags blazing, and then when I wave my Old Glory flag, you attack me as if I'm the only one who's waving the flag from the place I'm at. You all's history in that is different. I was here from the beginning and built this country from the beginning into what it is today, that you all want to come here and eat off the plate that I built. So the nature of your attacking me is one of greed, which also partners with white supremacy. So my story, my place in the United States of America is one of, like Nicole Hannah Jones mentioned in one of her clips, that it was a story of ascension, but I have not ascended yet. I'm still in a terrible place. Like she also mentioned in this interview, the one that I continuously quote from, where she pointed out that we're just as segregated in the school system now as we were in 1970 because whites refused to comply with the SCOTUS decision of Brown Rich's Board of Education. In that same article, she's like, with every gain, we get knocked back to. She herself pointed that out. So in her TV article, where she said ours is a story of ascension, that's not true. Based on your own scholarship, that's not true. Not with the pre-COVID article saying that we're headed towards zero wealth in 2053. We're not. Our enemies are canny, and our enemies are numerous, and they've been deliberately cheating and holding us back from the ascension that we are owed. So we can't say those things, and we don't need people doing that kind of scholarship in the other side of their breath attacking ADOS either. So ADOS is the group whose focus is to help us get to that ascension in the name of God. So that's why I have zero tolerance for a repeat of the 20th century's continuous bamboozles of all these competing little groups competing for the attention of the Black American, knowing how we are, knowing how scattered we are, knowing we're looking for, what is the thing that we need for our unity? ADOS is that. So all these other groups that are popping up, the B1, FBA, Freedmen, I don't have any patience or respect for a repeat of what history just showed happened to us, the reason why we were still scattered today. You're doing that on purpose. I don't care what comes out of your face. I don't care what you type. If you see a potent organic grassroots movement in ADOS that captured the minds of the people, came seemingly out of nowhere, but it came in the wake of the bamboozled disappointment of the first Black president, Inc., who turned 4 million white millionaires into 12 million white millionaires, handed all this national household wealth over to them, continued to plunder us, and just tricked us while playing Change Gonna Come by Sam Cooke and making fun of me and patronizing me. In the wake of that, hashtag ADOS rose, thanks to the leadership and data-driven scholarship of Antonio Moore and Yvette Carnell. So, as that came to be, and it took the imagination of the people, it captured the imagination of the people, and started bringing us together and moving in a different direction. And then you saw the usual suspects, committed Marxists, commies, and other people in partnership with all of our ideological foes, attacking that group ferociously, pulling it apart, trying to chip away at it inside, and doing everything you saw just happen in the 20th century with us. So you study history so you don't repeat the mistakes of history. So when you see the exact same thing happen, people deliberately trying to pull us apart, you know for a fact that you need to be politically unified in order to drive your political agenda in the way it needs to do. So when on cue, all these little groups show up trying to split the unity, there's no other way to put that. I have zero respect, zero patience when I see hashtag something else, hashtag reparationists, hashtag that. What we have ADOS. You all drop that nonsense, get on board so we can hurry up and get where we need to be, or you're an agent of white supremacy. There is no middle ground. There is no third option. You're either an agent of white supremacy sowing dissension and foolishness, or you're on board with your people getting what they need to be. Choose. To me, you've already chosen. If you have hashtag B1 or any of those others in your bio, you are my enemy. I don't give a damn what you say. Stop being stupid. Study history so you don't repeat those mistakes. So if you're doing it by accident or you just confused as fuck, knock it off and get where you need to be. If you're doing it on purpose, I don't expect you to see this video because, I'm talking to the void as usual, but it's, I'll do what I do, you do what you do, and in the end, on the other side of this life, we'll see who was right and who was wrong. Anyway, that's what this cartoon was supposed to demonstrate. It's a snapshot of my position inside of my country in my own struggle. A unique one. And I am owed a very specific thing from my government for my people. And anybody trying to make claims on it is my enemy, unambiguously. The only people who could fairly and reasonably get a piece. I'm not going to put that out there. It's because there's no good will come from putting that out there and it not being spun into some nonsense. So I'm going to leave it alone and revisit it when we're all at a stronger place. I don't know. Maybe I should say it anyway. Where I go. In the Quran, God lists of the people that he wants you to give charity to. He does list the tax collector as one of those. That the tax collector needs, a heart. So anybody in an administrative role who's doing a thankless job, that everybody's going to hate this person, So in the end, in the name of God, when our robust reparations program is finally started, and as Yvette says, the down payment of 20 trillion is put down, which represents just the slavery era itself. The 230 years of slavery itself alone is the $20 trillion down payment. And then we'll deal with the accrued nonsense that came after it up until the present day as I speak, or as I record. Then the people who are actually doing the thankless administrative work of it, and that has to be, you can't let that figure dictate the terms and stuff, because that's the window for the grifter to come in. You already see them. They're doing it now. They're, everybody who is putting into bills that are we need a study to see if reparations is viable or whatever, anything like that. And then you read into it and it says all these groups need $10 million a piece, to get ready to think about the study. You can't let that figure dictate the terms. You got to up front be very, God said this is a charity. It's not an opportunity for grift. It's not an opportunity for criminal thieves. So we need to be aware of that just in general. That I think, that person, of course, they deserve something for the administrative work. You don't get, 10 trillion of the 20 trillion. Anyway, peace.